All right, this is the third and final section of the DICAS overview. In the first two videos, we went over the process of how to set up an application. We went over personal information, academic history section, and supporting information. We're now going to move on to the program materials section. As noted in the very first part of this video, we selected 4 different programs that we were going to apply to. Once you select program materials, it's going to bring all of those up. You can click on the first one. And it's going to show you specific to this internship. The home page gives you a background or an overview of the program. It'll tell you what, in this particular internship, they're giving you what they'll be evaluated on, what the applicant will be evaluated on, and more information about them. Okay, program details will be in every one of these. This was a requirement for the programs to fill out. This home page will vary depending on the program, and you'll notice as we go through, they're all a little bit different. You will want to click on the documents section, and this is going to be documents specific to this internship. So Be Well is requiring you to have a personal statement and program-specific materials. So in their personal statement, they want you to provide an overview of why nutrition and dietetics is important to you, what has prepared you for this internship, your short and long-term goals, your strengths and weaknesses, and why you're applying to their program, as well as anything else you want the admissions committees to know about you. They do have a word count noted here. Okay, so this personal statement will be specific to Be Well Solutions. Granted, as we've discussed in other courses, personal statements, you could have a framework to start from, right? Your preparation, your long-term and short-term goals, your strengths and weaknesses will be the same, most likely, in every personal statement. But variations will occur when you talk about why you're applying to their program, and maybe something specific to this program that you want that admissions committee to know about you. Once you have that ready, you're going to add a document. It's going to ask you to choose a file. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and X out of that because I obviously don't have one to upload at this moment. And then this program has specific materials. They have a supplemental application. Because this is a distance rotation or distance internship, they want you to include your proposed rotation schedule. The downloadable form can be found on their website under Application Information tab. So this requires you to go to their website, find that form, complete it, and then add it to your application. They also have a section for your recommendation letters. Sometimes these are also known as references. Be Well wants 3 reference letters or letters of recommendation. Professors and employers are your most common, but it really can be anyone who's familiar with your academic skills, professional, and work ethic. But this should not be somebody you know not personally, but they should not be related to you, I guess is what I'm getting at. So don't get your mom or your aunt or your grandma to write you a letter. That's not an appropriate letter of recommendation. Okay. So once you determine who your 3 individuals will be, you're officially going to start as a request new letter of rec. You're going to put that individual's first name, last name, email address. Again, the due date will be the due date of the application. And then indicate to them what you would like. I just need a letter of reference for this particular program. Or I need a letter of reference for my dietetic internships. Because you are able to have the same recommender or letters of rec utilized in multiple applications, and I'll show you that in just a minute. Waiver recommendation, typically you would say yes if you want to see the letter of recommendation. This may influence how the reference writer writes the letter. You want them to be as honest and truthful as possible. So my recommendation is you do waive your right, but this is completely up to you on whether or not you want to be able to read the letter that they've submitted or not. Same as the DPD contact, you're giving the program permission to contact the recommender and for the school to contact which is essentially be well, to contact that recommender if they have any additional questions. Okay, I'm going to X out of that. And you're going to do that for 3 of those 3 different individuals for this particular application. Okay, now we're going to go over to DUville. You'll notice their homepage is a little bit different. They always obviously have links to their website where you can find out more information. They do include what their applicants are required to submit, and they also include their optional materials. So they actually require a GRE. So that's important to note, that you'd have to have a GRE score to include in that testing area. They do have some questions that they want you to answer that are above and beyond the personal questions that you answered in Part 1. They want you to provide their specific documents, personal statement. You'll notice there's nothing here as far as directive. So in this case, you'd want to go to the program application website to find out more about what they want in their personal statement. They may even include it in their homepage. Okay. They're just including here a personal essay, but I would say go back to their application or their specific website and find out more information about what they want. And then any other additional documents you feel would strengthen your application. So maybe if you want to provide examples of coursework, projects you're proud of, anything along those lines, professional in nature, you can add those, but as you'll see, not required. They're all optional documents. No required documents. So the personal statement could be very fluid. It could be the standard of framework that you have already in place, since they're not having you answer any specific questions for requirements. Recommendations, they're not required for this program, okay, but you are obviously welcome to do so if you would so like to. You can include I am not adding, or you can add letters of recommendation. If I were to add, say for Be Well, I had an individual that I added, their name would populate in this little gray box here, and I could select that individual to also provide me a letter of rec for this program. The individual doesn't have to write 2 different letters. Essentially, one letter would go to all of the all of the different institutions. Okay. Rutgers. So they have a home page as well. Obviously, this is a future education model. Okay, it's giving you what their application types are. So it's giving you additional application items specific to application type. So if you're a DPD student, you're coming from an accredited DPD program, you need to provide them this statement, or DI, Declaration of Intent. If you are coming as a prerequisite applicant with a bachelor's degree and the different 9 prerequisite courses, you have to include your transcript showing all of those prereqs are completed, in addition to official transcripts from your institutions. And then same kind of thing with if you're an international applicant with the bachelor's degree and the 9 prereqs. Okay. They do have some additional questions you need to answer. Go through all of those. Obviously, they're asking more about your prereqs, what program type you're looking for, because they have remote and they also have local. So this is where they're getting more of the specifics to their setup and their program setup. Document section. They do have a required personal statement, and theirs is short and sweet personal statement with your short and long-term career goals. Note they want 750 words, where the last one wanted 1,000, or up to 1,000. So some of these do have word count minimums, so just be mindful of that. Again, letters of recommendation. This program only needs 2 letters of recommendation, and they want it from professors or academic advisors. So they're not looking for work or professional recommendations. They want it from a faculty or your academic advisor, which is a little bit different than the previous one. Be Well. Be Well was asking for 3, but it could be a variety of professional and or academic. And then because this is a graduate program, future education model, it has that prerequisite section. If I had indicated that was the route I was going, I would need to go back and add and make sure my transcript entry included these different prereqs. Okay. All right, last but not least is Arizona State. So this is our ASU MSDI. There's an overview of the program. It shows the different tracks. The MSDI, that is a spring match, and then the MS at the VA, which is a fall match. Here are the documents that they want. Personal statement, and they list out essentially what you need to address in your personal statement here. Significant responsibilities, your professional goals, strengths, and research interests. Okay. It even has it listed up here too. And then recommendations. This program wants 3, and it doesn't indicate the type, meaning there's no delineation that it has to be all academic, professional, or a mix, so you can choose what recommendation letters you think would best suit you for this particular program. Okay? 3 are required, but you can actually do 4 if you'd like. So if you want to add an additional one because you have 4 good, people who can provide letters of rec and you don't want to have to decide who to cut, you can just include all 4. Okay. Once you've completed all of that, you go back to My Application, and it'll show all sections complete. Once you have green arrows in all of these areas, you can go into Submit Application. It'll take you back to that initial screen that we saw in the very beginning to show you your total fee. You'll notice it shows I don't have anything ready because I don't have essentially anything completed for any of these. But once you do, it will show you which ones you have ready. What is nice about this program and the way they have it set up is maybe you only have 1 ready. You can submit the one that you have ready at that time and then go back and finish working on the other 3. You don't have to submit them all together. You can submit all, or you can submit them individually. It's really up to you, the progress, maybe due dates. This also is relevant because of due dates may be different, like Dewville is a rolling deadline. For these other ones are February 15th, so maybe you want to do this one first, or maybe you want to do this one last. You want to get these done first, and then that rolling deadline you can submit when you're ready to. So unlike previous years where you had to submit everything all at once, it had everything done, in this new setup you can essentially submit applications upon when they're ready. Granted, the majority of the information in your application is all similar. Where it'll be different is those program materials. So if you're working on a program material for one program, it's taking you a little bit longer, you can sit on that one and submit the ones that are ready to go. Okay. The other nice button you have is check status. It's not going to show anything here, but it'll show you status of transcripts that you've ordered, the DPD documents that your DPD director has completed for you, and then your application status for each of your programs. You can also download the PDF of that specific program that you've completed. I do recommend that you do that just so you have a paper copy or at least an electronic copy, a backup. That'll prove helpful for you potentially if something, there's a question about it or you don't have access to the online system for whatever reason, you'll have a PDF copy of what you've submitted. And therein lies your overview for DICAS.